Hey there everyone, Lord Frigid here with another episode of Aether Raids Battle Dump. Today's video covers the recently completed Light Season. I did actually end up changing the Caeda team to a full player phase gale force raiding party about 3 days in with the release of Harmonic Caeda, so that was really cool. I had a lot of fun with that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into today's matches. I sent the Elise team in against this space oppression / possibly 7th slot trap setup. The Peony can pathfinder through both notes to refresh the note on the second row, except her range is not super large like a Duo Sigurd would be, so it's pretty easy to escape, to just keep all of your units outside of enemy threat range, as long as you have some open space on the bottom row, which I do. So yeah, Peony refreshes here, but then the AI doesn't become aggressive, and basically the only thing that's happened is Peony has exposed herself. Yes. And that makes it really easy to initiate on turn 3 once I get my positioning squared away. I did actually find that Elise was not able to secure the KO on the Zeke. With his bonus unit stats, he was just way too bulky. So that was saddening. And then I believe I actually did lose a unit this match, because I forgot about I'm not used to dealing with Pathfinder when I leave it alive. That's why I usually try to just take it out of the equation, so I don't have to think about it too hard. But yeah, I think here, how did I deal with the Zeke? Did Dogger do it? Okay. She must have. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, basically, the notes, I had them both afflicted with Elise's gravity penalty. But then the one on the right pathfindered through, the one on the left went straight down. Okay, yeah, Dogger did do it. Wow. And then the second note, the one currently on the left, just went straight pathfinder down as well and took out Dogger. So I really should have hit Dogger with a smite. The notes are going after Peony, so smiting Dogger would not have changed their movement pattern. It would have just made it so that there wouldn't have been a Dogger there for them to stab. So that was unfortunate, but I decided to live with it because I value my time more than I value my Aether Raids score. So yeah, that's the story of what happened there. Yeah, that's really all that there is to talk about for this match. So I will let this one play out and see you in match number 2.
Just you try.
Sure. Yes. Do my best.
Like this.
Maybe this way. Okay.
Yes.
Do my best. What can I do? Sure.
I sent in the Caeda raiding party for this map. I actually ended up leaving Caeda in range of Leaf on the first turn, because the way this map is set up, Leaf attacks, then Yoon moves, gets refreshed, and she's going to be able to attack as well. If Bramimond had been the next one to move instead of Yoon, then I would have run into problems, but that wasn't the case. She really only had to worry about the Leaf, and he hurts, but he also dies, so it's not really that big of a deal. And Yoon, of course, does absolutely nothing to her. Let's see here. So, because I didn't break any of the structures at the bottom, only Bramimond moved. And then I took some thinking time. This was actually the match of thinking time for me. I think I did this battle in 4 separate pieces, with the last thinking time session being the longest. I don't think any combat actually happened here. I was hoping to have the Bramimond in range for Caeda to get a quick KO, but she was not able to do so because of the enemy's positioning assists. I actually don't even remember what I did here. Oh, I must have taken out the Bramimond, and then possibly left Caeda in range of the Sothis and the Peony. I think that sounds familiar, actually, now that I think about it. So then, yeah, because then I would have moved Caeda straight down and had Freya smite her over.
Yes.
And then she was able to deal with both Sothis and Peony, so that was good. Leaving Eldigan and Note, which is kinda good and kinda bad. The main focus of this team, of course, is Caeda, followed by Azura. And of course, both of them have terrible matchups into Eldigan and Note. Azura less so, I would say, with Note specifically. That Eldigan is really bulky. So my trouble that I had to figure out was how to get my green units into the action here. And you can see that what I decided was that I would have Freya do it. Freya is uniquely suited to dealing with Note, or especially well suited to dealing with Note, perhaps is a better phrase, because her B passive, oh gosh, I wanted to call it Brisingamen, but it's Binding Necklace. It's basically bonus stealer. That's what I like to call it. I don't think that's really a fully accurate term, but it basically just makes it so that the enemy's buffs are applied to as in combat penalties to the foe and as in combat bonuses to Freya herself, which is really nice for dealing with stuff like that, especially with Note's mitigation.
Good morning.
So thanks to the fact that I was able to get Freya in on the fight there, I was then able to take out the Note, and then Eldigan is so bulky he doesn't actually die here. And it also helps, of course, that Freya used her Luna up on the Note. So I was able to grab both the Aether structures and then have, I'm pretty sure I had Freya finish the job.
Got him. Yes.
As of match number 3, I revamped the Caeda raiding party to be a full player phase Gale Force style team. I actually found that with a full player phase build, Caeda's able to KO Note. I thought that was pretty cool for a couple seconds, and then I realized, wait, it's still Note's bonus season. And it very quickly went from, haha, this is neat, to dear god, why is this a thing? It's of course a little bit build dependent. If the Note has speed and or def investment, it becomes a lot harder to pull off. But if they're carrying their default distant counter, well, then they're probably going to die. And they deal enough damage to Caeda that Azura can then warp in for more Gale Force shenanigans, as you see here. And because a lot of the threatening maps in today's meta use Note and Cavalry, Caeda just has a really great time, and it's really fun. I'm very glad that I'm able to use this team in this manner now. Yeah, this is a basic trap on the Triandra here to seal the deal. Very basic Gale Force team stuff. Then it's just clean up to grab the Aether structures. So I will let this one play out and see you in match number 4.
This'll be fun. Maybe this way.
Eyes on the battle. Yes. Got him.
What can I do? Good morning. Certainly.
I sent the Glimmer gang in on match number 4. Basically, the strategy here was to pick off the Eldigan, isolate the Azura, and then you basically just disabled all of the enemy's advancing power. I thought Lysithea was going to take Bright Shrine, so I actually had Freya get a smite to go up the left-hand side to just break those structures all the way up through the Bright Shrine. But I forgot that Freya, actually, it might just be her bonus stats putting her over the top here. But she actually takes Bright Shrine, not Lysithea. I didn't notice that until I think it was turn 3 when I finally noticed. Oh wait, I don't actually need to have Freya over here, isolated from the rest of the fight, taking out the Bright Shrine that's only affecting her anyway. So that was
If you say so.
that was a mistake on my part, but oh well.
Your orders.
Yeah, the Eldigan does have deflect magic, but it really doesn't matter.
Bestow my blessing.
He also does. I think the idea behind this setup is that Eldigan is relatively safe from isolation, and the deflect magic is there to help stop things from killing him. But unfortunately, Cecilia exists, and actually, I don't think he has IOs. Oh no, he definitely doesn't have IOs. He is dealing effective damage, so bows probably also get the job done there. So I'm not really sure what the thought process is on that.
I'm in.
I wanted to force the Altina to come straight down, so that's why I got Cecilia over to the left-hand side. But then she had reposition, so that sucked. I think... it kind of sucked, and it kind of didn't. Obviously, it's annoying that I wasn't able to get the KO on her at that time. However, it only hindered her advance, so it wasn't really that detrimental. So yeah, it's just clean up now. Oh, I actually took out the Claude here. That's interesting. Yeah, I guess because there's no danger, really. And yeah, it's just clean up for the rest of this. I think Lysithea just destroyed the Altina in one shot, and then Cecilia took out the Bramimon to finish the map. So I'll let that play out, and see you in the next battle.
Let us begin.
Your orders.
I sent in the Elise team for this match. There is a fallen Edelgard up in the corner, and she doesn't have Mystic Boost, so that just makes it really easy to have Elise repeatedly hit her until she dies. Of course, I actually have to get through the rest of the match first, so what I ended up doing was a
Good morning.
bit of a... I think I initiated on two fronts. Elise had to go first because she has solos that she needs to keep active.
Yes.
She took out, I think it was Azura and then Lysithea. And then I had my own Azura take out the Eliwood to activate Gale Force and give her one final refresh to take out the enemy's Triandra, robbing the team of their refresh power and securing a pretty easy cleanup phase afterward. Of course, I just previewed the Eliwood combat, but I didn't commit to it because, again, I needed Elise's solos active so she could get the KO on Lysithea. At least I'm pretty sure Lysithea had enough speed to avoid getting doubled if Elise didn't have her solos active. I'm pretty sure that's what I calculated. I could be misremembering.
Sure.
So yeah, Note and Hell advance meaninglessly. Since Note does have the movement penalty, she's not able to move 2 spaces, which would get Hell to attack my units. Actually, I don't think Hell even kills my units, so it probably wouldn't have been a problem even if she had been able to do that, but it was something that I thought about because I didn't want a repeat of match number 1 where I lost that my poor dogger to Pathfinder. I got Freya all the way up to the top half of the map to secure the KO on this Note. I figured that I had enough refresh power that even if that trap I'd repositioned her onto was real, it wouldn't have mattered because I'd just refresh her, shake the penalty, and then KO the Note anyway. Turned out to not be necessary just because the trap was fake. And yeah, I mean, cleanup is exactly as I described. Elise takes out the Edelgard by just hitting her repeatedly. And that's it. So I will let this play out and see you in match number 6.
Do my best. Maybe this way. Okay. What can I do? Do my best.
I somehow forgot to take the skill screenshots of the enemies for this map. I'm not really... Okay, actually, I don't take screenshots of the enemy skills. I actually take a short little video just tapping through each enemy, and then I screenshot that at different intervals so I can get the enemy skills, which you didn't really need to know, but oh well, I told you anyway. I'm not really sure how I forgot to do it. I thought maybe I took it and then deleted it, but then I went through it afterward, my deleted files, and there wasn't anything there either, so I don't know, I guess I just didn't do it, so that kind of was annoying. And the reason I'm spending so much time telling you this is because I have deployed my Brain Dead Savior Squad team for this map. Yay! But no. Yeah, there's really nothing else to talk about. I think there was a almost good, but turned out to be a flub trap attempt. Is it next turn or the turn after? Might be next turn. But basically, I set things up to trap the Triandra by forcing her to attack from that space below where Eldigan currently is. I think it is next turn. Huh, interesting. But then she had Wings of Mercy, and the Eldigan didn't die. So that trap lasted for all of like 30 seconds, which was unfortunate. So, actually, does that happen here? Oh yeah, definitely does. Because I refreshed, and then I had Flame get the KO on the Eliwood. Oh, this is the setup for the trap. The actual trap happens next turn, because Dogger gets her even Tempest next turn, which allows her to reposition Freya straight up, and then Freya can just move through spaces to trap the Triandra, quote-unquote trap, because obviously it didn't last for very long. I mean, I guess it's not really obvious now necessarily, but you'll see in like a second.
Yes, of course.
Of course.
I tried briefly to see if I could get a KO on the note, and I figured out that I couldn't.
If you say so.
I
Expect nothing
think
less.
this the heavy trap was real. I tried to get an attack in, and maybe it was good that I couldn't do that,
This way.
since
What now?
actually I don't think the Triandra could have dealt 23 damage.
Good morning.
Now that I look at it, I don't think that's likely.
Yes, of course.
Oh well, it
Away
doesn't
we
really
go.
matter. But yeah, that's what happened, and it was actually fine that the Triandra survived, got out, because my Henriette was not in range of the Gustav, so she couldn't swap in to take the combat, which makes a pretty easy cleanup phase. Not as easy as if I'd had the Triandra trapped, but still pretty easy. Just Triandra hitting Gustav over and over again, that's perfectly fine. What I really wanted to avoid was being in an endgame where Note was alive, because I don't think I have anyone who can really fight Note and not either die or kill her. But this is perfectly alright. So I'm gonna let this one play out and see you in the
If
next
you say
match.
so.
Yes.
Away we go.
Yes.
I deployed the Caeda team into this Cavline setup. I took an approach very similar to the one in match number 3, where I just had Caeda attack into a Note. That got her Gale Force, and it put her under half HP for more Wings of Mercy shenanigans. I believe I had Azura take out the Sigurd, and then my Harmonic Caeda took out all 3 of the remaining Cavs, and since Caeda still has her action, she was able to go up and KO the Triandra.
Let's go.
After that, it was just a matter of grabbing the Aether Structures and cleaning up the Edelgard. You might be wondering how I cleaned up the Edelgard with this team, and the answer is Freya. Freya is able to survive a hit from Edelgard's bonfire thanks to the mitigations on Nightmare Horn. So having Freya attack Edelgard removes Edelgard's mitigations that she gets from her B passive, which
If you say
she only
so.
gets on the first hit of the first combat in either phase. So that's the plan. Freya takes Edelgard's mitigation, and then Caeda is able to land
Eyes
the
on the
one-hit
battle.
KO with the Winged Sword's
Let's
effective
go.
damage. So yeah, that's the rest of this is just me figuring out the best way to do
Expect
that.
nothing less.
I think I actually... Yeah, I miscalculated here slightly. I thought the Edelgard had
I feel your gaze.
Armored Stride, even though I knew she had Attack Death Menace because I stared
on
at
the
it
battle.
long and hard during pre-battle planning. I just thought she had 2 movement because I'm so used to her having 2 movement.
What next?
But even though you can clearly see, again, right now, she definitely does not have 2 movement. So I'm not really sure what I was thinking there.
Right,
That was weird.
boss.
I ended up needing to take one more turn to finish the map as a result, but that was okay. I think I used that turn to just break the Dark Shrine, which... Actually, no, that doesn't matter. Because to get enough attack to land the one-hit KO, Caeda needs to move and get a refresh from Peony, which shakes the Dark Shrine penalties anyway. Huh. Oh well.
Maybe
Okay,
this
so
way.
yeah, you're just gonna see me move some stuff around. And you basically just prepare for the Edelgard's advance, and why did I do that? That's moronic. That gave Edelgard a menace.
Just you try.
That actually explains a lot now that I think about it, because I previewed the combat here,
What next?
and Caeda only dealt 53 damage. Now that makes sense. It was because I was an
Yes.
idiot, and I moved Dogger in menace range. Turns out it doesn't matter, because fully active Blade Session still got it a 1-hit KO, and I still had the harmonic skill in the wings, but yeah, that was weird. Oops. I deployed the Caeda team into this probably a rally trap. I think the way this map is supposed to work is Byleth rallies Leaf, gets a refresh from Racin, Note rallies Byleth from the space to Byleth's right, putting both notes in the same column and extending the threat range of both Leaf and Byleth considerably.
Yes.
At least I hope that's how it works, because I really don't see how it's threatening otherwise.
This way.
I was able to circumvent that because there is a distance check tiebreak when determining who gets to provide the assist, so I was able to force Note to provide the rally instead of Byleth. Although actually, the Note would not have rallied Byleth anyway, if Byleth had rallied first, because Byleth didn't have anyone in his threat range, and nobody would be threatening him from that position. So I guess it didn't really matter. After I baited out the enemies, I was able to get a Gale Force clear going. With the Leaf gone, I was able to activate Caeda's Harmonized skill,
You mean the beach?
and then she just
Certainly.
marched up the left-hand side, took out the squishy green Byleth. I guess it's not that
Let's go.
squishy, but minus 11 defense is no joke. And the armored Edelgard, and then had my Caeda take out the Note to get the all rally elements out of the equation.
Let's go.
I tried to have
Certainly.
Racin attack into my flying Caeda,
Just you try.
but that didn't really work
morning.
because after KOing the Note, Racin
battle.
got his transformation back, so he gained movement and attacked my harmonic Caeda instead. Turns out it didn't matter. I was really surprised that Caeda was able to get the KO there, just because he had 60 defense. So that was weird, but not unwelcome. And this was just
Expect
cleanup from
nothing
here.
less.
I briefly thought about trying to get that Aether Fountain, and eventually I
I feel
decided,
your
screw it,
gaze.
it's the last match, I'm going to KO the Note. And finished the map, and ended the season. And that is it. I hope you all enjoyed this episode of Aether Raids Battle Dump. I really do hope to get back into the swing of weekly uploads. We'll have to see how that goes, but I think for light season I probably shouldn't have any issues as long as the Caeda raiding party continues to be effective. I really do enjoy using that team and demonstrating the use of that team, so that just gives me a little bit of extra incentive to get those videos put together. Regardless of how the scheduling thing shakes out, I would like to thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you next time.